right, and welcome to another Rise and Shine Creating 2020 Vision. I am here on day 10 of our theme all about vision, what it means to have a vision, what it looks like, what it feels like, and how it supports you in manifesting that next desired reality that you have for yourself. And we're talking about creating 2020 vision. So what do you want to experience the second half of this year? Because this is your year, your moment, your year, and you absolutely can claim it. And today I have with me here Sharifah Hardie. Welcome, Sharifah.
Thank you for having me, Kim. I am so excited to be here. This been over a year coming, so I'm just excited to be here.
It really is, I know. And hello to our live viewers here. We have Helene with us and Sherry with us saying hello. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop some of those on the screen here. Hello to both of you. And Sherry is saying, let me see here. Sherry's already got a question for us. Let me just go ahead and read it. Sharifah Hardie, how are you doing on this thankful Thursday?
Oh, I like Sherry. Sherry was here a long time before the video even started, so I know she has to be one of your closest friends, your mom, a team member or something, because she loves the show. The show ain't even started and Sherry is here. I am blessed and highly favored. How are you, Sherry?
Sherry is not my mom. No, Sherry is doing amazing. She is you know what, Sherry's got some awesome things to be thankful for. If she'd like to pop any of that down in the comments, then we'd love to celebrate her. But Sherry, that is a great question. I love that you're asking about Thankful Thursday. And I'm gonna say I'm thankful that I'm thankful that I remembered about today's show.
I'm not gonna comment, but you know what? I'm gonna comment because you are here, and that's the most important thing. You're here with me. You know what I mean? I forget stuff all the time, and not that you forgot me, but I was here waiting for you, which we're not gonna discuss.
I was waiting for you, and then I left and came back.
That counts because the chair was here. So I'm like, Kim has to be around here somewhere because I saw the chair and the mic, and it was live. So somebody did something.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm happy to be here with you, Sharifah. I mean, this has definitely been a long time coming. So let me share with everyone who Sharifah is in a nugget, and then we're going to get into today's conversation. So Sharifah Hardie is a business consultant with expertise in diversity, equity, and inclusion. She's also the host of 3 talk shows, and in 2020 was a Long Beach City Council candidate, and that's Long Beach, California. And she has over 25 years of business experience, and you can find out more by going to asksharifah.com. And I want to spell that for everybody. It's ASKSHARIFAH.com. And that's Sharifah in a nutshell. But Sharifah, will you tell us just a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
I'm a servant of the Lord. That's what I am. I'm here to help people. And the way that shows up in my life is entrepreneurship. That's what my book was. Signs You Might Be an Entrepreneur, How to Discover the Entrepreneur in You. And the reason I did that is because I spent over the last 25 years on my own personal journey from the time I built my first website in 1994 through 8 layoffs, through building different companies for other people, to taking a company public in 2016, completing that in 2018, raising about $6 million through social media. So it is just a personal journey of helping other people. Because I always say, I don't only help people to make money, I help people to save money. When you're starting out on a journey, you may not know what to do or what not to do. So you have to be able to have someone to trust. So I just say, ask Sharifah.
Oh, that is awesome, Sharifah. Wow. Let me ask you. So you mentioned a personal journey that lasted 20, 25 years. And
Yeah.
Is that a journey that ever ends?
No, that's what makes it a journey, because you often feel that when you get to a certain point and a certain destination, it's like, I arrived. And I always think about that in terms of office space. You know, when you're first starting off, you have a little desk, and then you're like, I'm moving up. I got that cubicle. So you got the cubicle. So you're excited about the cubicle, right? So then you in a cubicle, you're like, one day I'm going to get that office. And then you get that office. And then you're like, okay, I got to make it to the corner office on the top floor, you know, and you keep moving up the channel. And you always think, when I get to this point, then I've arrived. But no matter what, one of the things I've learned about successful people, every successful person I've ever spoken with, they're never satisfied. They never get to a point where they're like, this is all I'm going to do. There's always the next venture, the next deal, the next project, the next goal that they want to reach. And that's one of the things I always remind people is what's next. What's next? What's your next thing?
Yeah, that's such a good point. And that's also why it helps to have a vision, because then it sort of helps to streamline some of that journey with where you're headed and what's next. And also knowing that, okay, I was there once and now I'm up leveling, and we can always experience and create something new. So let me ask you, in general terms, what does having a vision mean to you? What comes to mind when I ask you about vision?
I think for me, when it comes to mind, is my vision for my life, right? Okay. And I think that that's something that took 44 years for me to get to, is what I consider the vision for my life. And it's something that I talk about often on my talk shows. Is people come and they say, well, Sharifah, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm meant to do. I don't know what a vision is. And I always go back to, what is it, that one thing that you woke up in the morning doing when you were a little kid that you just loved to do, you always dreamed about doing? I had a lady on the show said that she always dreamed about having a fashion line when she was a kid, but she was like, everyone has a fashion line. Everyone dreams of having a fashion line when they're a kid. And I said, well, I didn't dream of having a fashion line when I was a kid. I asked some of the other guests, did you dream of having a fashion line when you were a kid? And they all said no. I said, so that was the specific thing for you. Right. So my vision for my life is something that started, like I said, 44 years ago when I was a little child, and I would talk. I talk nonstop. I'm a talker, and I was always asking questions. Everything that happened, I had to know why. Why, Mom? Why? Why is this? Why is that? Why did they do that? Why did they say that? And I was always asking questions. So fast forward to where I am now, I host 3 different talk shows because I believe that change starts with the conversation. Just you and I being here today talking about visions is going to spark something in someone to work on their vision. So my vision for my life is being a talk show host, hosting talk shows, sitting down with people and having conversations on ways to make their life better, ways to make everyone's life better. And that's what I see. And so my vision just includes me speaking in front of larger audiences and reaching more people with the same message that I've had since the day I was born, which is, again, change starts with the conversation.
I love that, Sharifah. I love how you brought it back to what did you want to do when you were a kid, and the story that you share, because I think a lot of people tend to think, well, everybody wants this or everybody's already doing this. I definitely had a period of that myself. And it's just so interesting how we can kind of get locked into our own little bubble or frame of mind. And then it's nice when that bubble actually gets popped and it's like, oh, that's why I've been thinking about it, because that's for me. Yes. That's for me. That vision was for me, not anybody else. And even though there's another fashion designer out there in the world, right? However many more, there's still no one else like you. There's no other Sharifah Hardie talk show host. Right. So,
but the beauty in that, and not to cut you off because you know me, Kim, this is what I do, but I just wanted to make this point, in no other talk show host, is also being able to seize opportunities. Like we said, I had just finished my run for Long Beach City Council, and I didn't know what I was going to do next. And all of a sudden, this vision came to me of what I wanted to do next. And it was the Roundtable Talk Show, which I host weekdays at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time live on Facebook, where I talk to different guests. But it came from the Long Beach City Council run, where I said, they will not give me city council, but I'm going to take the roundtable, but I am going to have a platform to have a voice to discuss what is going on in the world. So I could never have planned the success of the Roundtable Talk Show if not, I couldn't have planned it. If it wasn't for COVID-19, the show wouldn't have taken off the way it was, because it leveled the playing field. Right. So you have the best of the best, from the Wendy Williams to the Trevor Noahs to the View. Everyone is doing their show at home. So now it's, even though they're different people, I'm at home. Why not do my shows? Why not have my voice? Why not get that one little corner that's just Sharifah Hardie? So that's what I did and why I launched the shows.
I love it. And Sherry is saying, so love your vision. That's amazing. So
Thank you,
I,
Sherry. Thank you for tuning in.
and so Sharifah, I want to get into one of the questions I asked you before today's show is what is your vision for the second half of 2020? And I want to go ahead and share what you shared with me, and if anything shifted since then, I'd love for you to add to it or let us know what's different now. But when I asked Sharifah what is her vision, she said, my vision is to create a space for entrepreneurs to learn, grow, and reach their full potential. You pretty much already said that. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that or
No, but I
anything?
like that. I'm glad I said that because I probably would have said something else. I'm like, that was good. That was good. I must have been in a good mind frame at that moment. I was like, let me think about this. But that's it. That's my vision because to me, I don't even say entrepreneurs. I say believers, right? People who believe in this vision that God gave to them. When I launched my first website in 1994, my family said I was crazy. My family said I was lazy. They had no idea about working virtually, working remotely. And in that, and it seems crazy now in 2020, but think back to 1994. We still had that mentality. If you do not go to work, you don't have a job. It's not real. It doesn't exist. Oh, you're just playing on that little computer because again, it's the 90s and no one had any idea of what, was to come. And so I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I don't resent those people. I just understand that I was ahead of my time. But if I would have understood then how far ahead of my time I was, I would have taken advantage of it. I would have done more 20 years ago. I'm doing all this stuff now in my 40s. I'm a lot more experienced and mature, but I would have done things differently. So never allow someone else's belief in your vision, in your dream, because God didn't give it to them. They gave it to you. So just trust and believe and work your vision and put everything you have into making that vision, that dream come to life.
Oh, I love it. Sharifah, so you're already tapping into this thing that I like to ask guests to do, and that's to do a 68-second process where you just talk about your vision and really amplify that energy. And I know that's not exactly what you were doing right there, but I definitely was like feeling into that. Yeah.
That's the move. Like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. We have a church up in here today. Ooh, yeah.
Exactly. And so, what's coming up for me is that I know definitely when I had an office job, I was definitely a very hard worker, worked way too much. But I've also learned entrepreneurs are some of the hardest workers ever. And I think, yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't know or don't realize. So I love that you're speaking to that. And we have Carol saying, it's great to hear different visions from other people. And I completely agree, Carol. That's why we're doing this, is to hear that everyone has a different vision. And here's what I also noticed, Sharifah, because you're able to have that perspective and grow as you have a lot of alignment. You really are connected to your vision. It's very evident in how you speak, of course, what you've built over time, and how things have just like flown into place. It was fascinating. When I met Sharifah, she was already a Long Beach City Council candidate. And, and then things shifted and she started this next show. And you just kept moving with it. And it's really awesome to see. And so I want to ask you, based on what your vision is, let me bring it right back up here. So based on your vision of creating a space for entrepreneurs to learn or believers to learn, grow, and reach their full potential, would you be open to doing a 68-second process on that for us? And I'll share what that is. So a 68-second process is simply for 68 seconds, so a little over a minute. You speak about your vision as already having happened and be manifested, and you allow yourself to feel into how grateful you are for it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So for instance, instead of saying, I want to create a space for believers to learn, you say, I'm so grateful I already created this amazing space for entrepreneurs to learn and grow. And it's for you to continue to amplify that energy, but it's also for all of us, because all of us who get to hear Sharifah speaking her vision into more and more reality, we get to feel into that. And that's something that you can do for your vision as well. So I would love if you would do that for us today.
No, I'm gonna try to do that. Usually I don't use the word try, but the reason I say try is because I just talk. You know what I mean? I can't tell you if it's gonna be 68 seconds, 63
Yeah,
seconds, 59 seconds, but I hear exactly what you're saying. One of the things that I always talk about is the great I am, right? It's not I will or I want to, is I am. So owning and the power of life and death is in the tongue. So when we look at where we are and what we're doing, it's our current vision, our current passion, and not what's going to happen. So for me, that's what I have created. My focus is to be able to reach more people, but I'm just so honored to be able to host the shows that I host right now, to be able to help the people that I help right now. When I launched the Roundtable Talk Show, I had a vision in mind for the show to sit down with 5 entrepreneurs, 5 experts, 5 business owners per day. That's 25 people a week that I sit with and talk to them about their business. Now, I launched the show on March 30th. It's August 27th. The show has evolved in ways that I could never imagine or never dream of. And the reason I say that is because I thought we were going to have independent conversations. Let me speak with Kim. What does Kim do? Okay, that's Kim's business. Let me introduce the next guest, 5 guests, each individual stories. But what has happened currently in the present is that I found so many similarities. No matter how different each of the guests are, I always find some similarity that brings them together. Our show today was amazing. I had one of the guests who had been on there before, and he just this morning or yesterday, within the last 24 hours, got terminated from his job. And he came on the show with his wife to talk about that experience. And so we did, I mean, it was a huge story. You have to watch the show. It's on Facebook on the Roundtable Talk Show. But we did what we always do with the other guests, and we came around to support him during this, situation that just happened in real time. He's going through it. He just lost his job through no fault of his own because he didn't want to come back into work because of the COVID restrictions. He wants to work remotely. His company was adamant, you come back to work or you don't have a job. And so he shared this experience, and all of the other guests were like, this is what I would recommend. Go get a lawyer, look at this as an opportunity. So we're creating a space, and we're creating a platform and an opportunity for entrepreneurs right now. Then from the Roundtable Talk Show, I got my third talk show, which is face-to-face talk show. And that occurred because while we're discussing on the Roundtable Talk Show, life happened, and there became racial injustice. And that was the tragedy, the horrific death of George Floyd. And so when I would start a show, there were so many people, Black people, white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, it didn't matter, who wanted to discuss racial unrest in America. And I thought it was unfair to have people who just wanted to come on the Roundtable Talk Show have to be forced to discuss things they may not be comfortable with. Maybe they don't want to tell people in public that they want to vote for Donald Trump, or maybe they're afraid to say they don't want to say Black Lives Matter, or maybe they want to say everyone should say Black Lives Matter, but I didn't want my other guests to feel uncomfortable. So with my co-host Paul Faust and I, we launched Face-to-Face Talk Show, where we ask the hard questions, have the uncomfortable conversations, but again, change starts with the conversation. So we sit down every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and we discuss what's going on in the world. So what I'm continuing to do is just expand the reach of what I'm so passionate about. And that's having the conversations that we can use to unite the world. I don't know if that was 68 seconds or not. See,
That was
that's
like
what I'm saying.
that was like 5 minutes.
See, you invited me. Like, you invited me to the party. That's the beautiful thing about being all over the internet. Like, you should have Googled me. You should have known I was long-winded.
So Sharifah, we're at the end of today's show, and one of one of the things that I love to ask my guests is if they would just have a little fun with us and make up
I know I saw all of that in the notes and all the shows. And I was trying to think of something.
You knew what she was coming into. You saw the email.
I hope she forgets. I hope she doesn't notice.
She's gonna try to throw something back at me. I'll throw it back at her.
I'm trying to sneak like past the room.
Let's see if I can talk for 10 minutes, and then Kim won't have time to ask me if
Exactly. She'll forget. She'll forget. She ain't had enough sleep.
I ain't forgetting. So Sharifa's not singing. Sharifa doesn't want to make something up with the word vision in it. Just something.
I don't have anything.
Sweet. What's okay? Let's do like a word association.
Okay, I like games. Let's play some games.
This is totally off the cuff. Okay, so
I love that.
So what's the first thing that comes to mind for you when I say the word alignment?
You know what? Oh, I like that. Okay, I got 2 seconds.
One word.
No. Okay, team. Can I explain that?
Real quick, yeah.
Real quick. I heard this expression one time that for your blessing to occur, everyone has to be in alignment. Everyone has to be in alignment. And sometimes your blessing is dependent on someone else. So whenever I think about things aligning, I don't think about it aligning just for me. I think it aligning for the team.
I love it. And I just popped an image up on the screen because I like to see what other visuals I can add to what my guest's vision is. And so I popped this one up. You said team, and that to me is like bringing all the pieces together. So we've got vision, goal, strategy, process planning as a visual. Do you have any thoughts about this image here?
I think you're correct. And I like your insight and your intuition. It's about the team. It's your vision, your goal, your planning, your strategy, your process. But the team has to move together because no man is an island. You cannot do everything by yourself. So you have to put the team in place to bring that to life. So it's great that you have a vision. That's wonderful. I love the fact that people have vision, but until you can bring your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. So until you bring the people together, the team together to do every aspect of what you need to do, you're still going to struggle. So I always look for good people. And you definitely, Kim, are wonderful. I love having you as a part of the team.
Oh, I love having you part of the team. Okay, we're going to do one more. What comes to mind when you hear the word vision?
What I think is talent.
Oh.
Can I explain that one?
Okay, go ahead and explain that one.
You think you have something in mind?
No. Go ahead.
When I think of vision, right, I always think about scripture. Each and every one of us on this earth was given a talent for a reason. And that reason that people tend to forget is for us to survive, for us to pay our mortgages, for us to be able to do what we need to do. We were given a talent. And when we were given that talent appears to us as a vision. It's something that God shows us that we can see ourselves doing. Me, I see myself in my vision speaking on at forums, at auditoriums, in front of millions and millions of people, because that's the vision that God has shown me. But I have to hone my talent in order for me to get there.
I love it. That's awesome, Sharifah. That was great. See, we were able to come up with something to do. Okay, and we are wrapping up today's show. Just a few more notes here. Sherry is saying, amazingly short show today. And Sherry, that's what these Rise and Shine Creating 2020 Visions are like, is we keep it short and sweet, talking about creating 2020 vision. And today's episode was the last one, all on the subject of vision. Starting next week, we're going to be moving into mindset and talking about that for a while. So I'm so glad you're here with us today, Sherry. She's saying, love the energy and the laughter. This is great. Love it. Hugs and love. Absolutely. Hugs and love to you too, Sherry. And Sharifah, will you remind everyone where they can go to connect with you after today's show?
Absolutely. If you're interested in being a guest of one of the shows, viewing one of the talk shows, interested in starting a new business, marketing, or just have a question on anything involving a www, please feel free to visit Sharifah.com.
Awesome. And lastly, I want to remind everyone, what is your vision for the second half of 2020 or beyond? If you would like me to support you in being able to amplify that energy, gain clarity on what that vision looks or feels like, these are really awesome sessions that are a little different for everybody. And so I invite you to definitely let me know down in the comments, what is your vision, or private message me, and you can be the recipient of today's virtual reality call. I would love to join you on that. And quick reminder, we have tomorrow's Visioning and Goal Setting Workshop happening live on Zoom Friday, August 28th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. And that is also on the Facebook page here. I'll definitely put a link in the comments for that as well. Have an amazing day, everybody. Remember, keep tuning into what your vision is and know that there's no one else like you. I love what Sharifah was sharing today. You are the only you. You're the only one who has your vision, your dreams, your goals, your passions. And so if you're feeling passionate about something, that is your indication. Oh, that's the journey. That's the pathway I can move down, because again, there's no one else like you. Have an amazing day. Stay right there, Sharifah. And I'll see you all again very, very soon for another Rise and Shine, creating 2020